The current issue of the Archives of Dermatology contains a study about advertising for tanning beds in high school newspapers. We are now joined by the principal investigator of that study, Dr. Robert Delaval, who is an associate professor of dermatology at the University of Colorado School of Medicine. So, tell us about your study and what you found.
Well, Tim, thanks for having me here today. We became interested in looking at high school advertising in newspapers that go to high school students when we heard about the World Health Organization's recommendation that teens and other children should not go to UV tanning parlors. So we took all of the Denver area public high schools, and we asked them to send us their newspapers. We had 23 of the high schools send us newspapers. Almost half of them had UV tanning advertising in those newspapers.
And as you looked at this advertising, was there any mention of the potential danger, or was it all positive?
We didn't see mention of it. What we did see was bring in your student ID for a discount. We have prom specials, half off for students. A lot of inappropriate messaging for UV radiation, which we know promotes skin cancer.
And just so we get the information out, for the students or anyone who does want to have a tan, there are safer alternatives, right?
There are safer alternatives, and we were very disappointed to see that the tanning industry was not advertising non-UV tanning more frequently.
And lotions that are available?
There are lotions available. There's new technology which sprays on non-UV chemicals which dye the skin and give you that bronzed look, because we know that it's going to be very hard to get people to get over that attraction to the tan look. But there are non-UV, non-cancer-causing ways of getting that look, and that's what we'd like to see the tanning industry advertising to teenagers rather than what's currently going on.
Do you have any sense at all that high schools, governments, city governments, state governments are looking at this issue in terms of advertising?
This was really the very first study in the literature that looked at tanning advertising that's directed specifically to teenagers, and it kind of gives us an explanation why this group of people, our teenagers, are going to tanning parlors more and more and more. There's been a dramatic increase of teenagers going to tanning parlors, and perhaps it's because of advertising that's being directed specifically at them.
So what's the next step here? Have you talked with government officials or public health officials in terms of what this might mean?
I would like to do that. I haven't gotten any invitations yet, Dr. Tim.
But your own opinion would be?
My own opinion would be, if you're a tanning parlor operator and you want to advertise to teenagers, please just advertise the non-UV tanning, which does not promote skin cancer.
What about approaching the newspapers themselves? That is, the students who work on the newspapers and or the faculty who advise them?
That's definitely a very productive approach that if we had more time and energy and funding, we could do. But right now, we just have enough energy and time and funding to examine what the situation is and let people know about it. Besides
it being published in the Archives of Dermatology and are doing a program on it today, how else might you at least promote the findings?
Well, I think if you're hearing this story, please talk to your high school newspaper advisor. Let them know that you are concerned about what kind of advertisements the teenagers are looking at, and that you hope that they're not promoting carcinogenic or cancer-causing elements in their advertising.
Well, I must say that this is the first I've heard of this, and as you say, it's the first study in the literature, so hopefully this will start the ball rolling to at least some more discussion about this important issue. We thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Dr. Tim.
You bet. And we thank you all for joining us for this edition of Healthy Life. I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.